Hello, hello. Welcome back to the R&R podcast. This is your host, Shane, Graham. I hope you guys are not tired of our faces yet. I'm hoping you guys are still making the rest of your life, the best of your life. As you know, every day we're getting closer to the end. So you better start now.
Hopefully not that close, because yeah.
But anyway, on a serious note, today we're going to talk about something that affects a lot of youth, but even for the older folk that's still, still trying to find their feet. So today we're going to talk about peer pressure and self-esteem, because that could be, or in most cases is, the reason why there's a lot of what's happening today, with all the negative things happening with youth out there. So yes. So Graham, we also just got to base it on our lives as well. I mean, we're not going to do a textbook version of peer pressure.
But if we did have to look at like a Google searchable example of what peer, can we do that? Let's just see what it says, and then see what
let's do that.
Just as a what do you call it? As a foundation.
Yes.
Let's see.
In case Google is watching this and they're like, that's not peer pressure.
Okay, so Google says peer pressure involves people within the same group influencing others in the group to engage in a behavior or activity that they may not otherwise engage in. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So basically you're in a group, or you have a friend.
Yeah.
But to remain friends or to remain in a group, you feel the pressure of doing something that you're not comfortable with doing, to stay within this group.
Yeah.
Like, I think we can give examples. Doing something risky, maybe driving under the influence of alcohol.
Yeah.
Doing drugs.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Lying to your parents about where you're going.
Yeah. And generally those things have a ripple effect. So like you were saying now, it maybe starts with smoking a cigarette, and then it goes to starting to drink alcohol, and then it goes to drug use, and then it goes to, oftentimes, the more you get into it, the deeper you get into it.
Yes,
that makes sense.
100%, yeah.
And you're never doing it because you necessarily started off wanting to do it, but because it was a thing that your group of friends or peers or whatever was doing, you ended up getting into that as well.
No, 100%. Yeah. And I mean, let's look at where this peer pressure is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I think our first experiences would be, it's obviously not in creche, because everybody just plays with it. But it's once you start...
there might be peer pressure there in creche.
The way kids are growing up today. So I would say in school. So once you start going to, school, and then I think like... also playing soccer at clubs or sporting clubs, because I mean for us, I know there was cliques within a soccer team, within a school. Those are the cool kids, those are like the bookworms, the nerds, and then you have the in-betweeners. I think for most of my school career, I think I fell in the in-betweeners. Can we say in-betweeners?
I think we were in the in-betweeners because we weren't the people that was necessarily getting bullied, but we weren't also the people that were like the most popular people in school. So we were definitely, I would say,
and I mean,
in a healthy in-between space. Yes.
And I mean, like with me, I'm comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
Like I have buck teeth, still have buck teeth, so obviously being made fun of, but I was cool with it. And so they couldn't get me or affect me.
Get you or affect you. That's why.
Get you and affect you. Yeah. But anyway, so I think it starts in schools. And by the way, Graham and myself has been in the same class, or was in the same class from, I think, did we mention it before?
I don't know if we mentioned it, but since standard 2, which I think is grade 4 now,
Till matric.
So
yeah, we've been friends for so long.
A lot of years of shared experiences.
How old would we have been then? 6 is holding us up, 7, 8. 9 years old.
10.
Yes,
Yeah.
And we like now 39. What's
30, I'm turning 39. Yeah, we're both turning 39 actually.
I'm in January. We're a month apart.
Yeah.
So how many years? 30 years, bro. We know
It's
each
30
other.
years, yeah.
Yes.
Approximately, yeah.
And we still, So, Graham didn't pressure me to do anything. This is all positive pressure.
Same pressured me, I'm telling you.
Was I the baddie? But anyway, let's get going. So, where I noticed quite a bit of peer pressure was in high school, okay? Luckily for us, in high school, we were kind of in the same class, or we were surrounded by the same kids that went from standard 6, grade 8, all the way to matric. And there was the cool kids that went clubbing, and you just listen to the stories on the Monday, how they went clubbing, and this one was drunk.
I wonder how many of those stories were true. What's your thoughts on that? Because when you're in school, and like when the pressure is on, it's so quiet to be able to come on a Monday morning and to tell about your weekend experiences. I personally think a lot of those stories weren't necessarily true. What do you guys think? Like, I think, like, for the audience, I would love to hear from you. Maybe you were one of the people that told the story. When you were in school, you came Monday and you shared this elaborate, you went clubbing and you were at Galaxy and you guys were drinking.
Dockside,
Dockside,
Dockside back then.
If there's anybody out there that had that experience where you came to school and you completely fabricated a story because you wanted to be with the Inca, if you're brave enough, share that story with us. Or maybe you know somebody who did. I mean, this is not a name and shame show, but if you have an experience like that, we'd like to hear about that. But just coming back to that question, how many do you think were actually real stories?
I mean, I would maybe say about half of those. Because that again is peer pressure. Because for you to be accepted within that group, to be cool, you needed to have done something fun.
Yes.
I was just sitting at home all weekend.
Yes. No money, no access, no anything.
So we had awesome classmates and stuff. But I do know people that got into the wrong things. I mean, quite a few that was in school with us.
Yes. Yeah.
But obviously we're not naming and shaming here.
Yeah.
They hung out with the wrong kids and they just drastically went sideways. And I'm now actually, as I'm sitting here, I'm actually thinking, where are they? And it was sad because you see something so awesome or someone so amazing
with so much potential,
so untouched talents and potential can go from there or hero to zero, as they would say. But it comes back to Graham, like I said, the story of being made fun of and stuff like that. Self-esteem.
Yeah, it's highly closely connected.
Yes.
Because like you were just saying now, and what's really sad for me is, hearing the stories or reflecting back on people that we were together with at school at that time, and then seeing where they are in their lives today. And, it's not a case of in fact, I don't think anybody will say when they see somebody that they went to school with and that person is struggling in life that you will be happy about that. It actually makes you very sad, because the reality is not every person that came out of similar backgrounds is going to achieve a level of success in their life, is going to be happy in their lives. And a lot of that ties down to those moments in our lives when we made those decisions that influence us to go in a different direction in life. And not everybody who chooses that path goes down a dark path with it. Some of them actually goes through it, learn their lessons, come out of it, and are living exceptionally great lives today. But I think we're talking about those people that have made those decisions that ended up going into a very dark place in their lives. And that makes me sad. It doesn't make me excited. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me feel like I should say to them, I told you so. If you did that, I told you that was going to happen. For me, it's just sad. It's sad that, like you were saying about the untapped talent and the untapped potential that has actually gone to waste because of, the choices that we made in our youth. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, also looking close to home, I've got examples where, people made the wrong decisions. And reasons for making the wrong decision, I just wanted to fit in. You understand? You want your friends to be, basically, you want to impress them, you know? But at the end of the day, you're going to be the one that's going to be affected.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And I think I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but this was like a New Year's party or something. Can we tell a personal story?
Oh,
that'd be okay. Do you remember the one that I'm talking? Yeah. So this is disclaimer for my parents. But so one year, what were we in? Standard 9, I think. I think, and I was still involved with the beach mission. You remember at Strandfontein and all of that, yeah. So there were like some people that we met there. You still came, I think, for a day or something like that. We met a couple of people there, and I had my cousin.
And my cousin, was it the...
Brent was also there.
Brent was also there.
Should we mention names? I don't know. Yeah, my cousin was there. Yes. Shane's had a cousin that was there as well. And we then made this plan that we're going to get alcohol. You remember this?
Yes, yes.
And it was going to be a party, like a proper party. I don't know where I think my parents went out for the night for New Year's to someone else.
But we were very trustworthy.
Young
men.
Yeah. So I think in that instance, we influenced actually quite a lot of people to join in on this escapade, I would say. And I mean, looking back at that night and remembering the experience of it, like we remember, like we came from a place where we didn't really get into
that side of. I mean, I was very involved with my running. And obviously the purity of my body, watching what I eat and I wasn't drinking. But at the end of the day, you're running parallel to people that is experiencing that. And you somehow, you can't deny it. You actually do, I just want to experience it.
You want to open that door to because I remember that night we somehow had alcohol there. There was everything there.
Yes.
I don't even know how we got it. I can't remember.
I still remember Amarula.
Yes. There was quite a bit of stuff.
Yes.
But like looking back, as much as it's a fond memory, if you want to call it that, but the reality is not everybody that was in that situation would have been influenced in a positive way by that experience. Because remember, we're opening a doorway to something in that space.
Yes.
That was going to lead people down a certain
path. And some people also looked up to us.
Yes.
So
exactly.
if they're doing it, then it's fine.
Yes.
We made
so that level of influence was actually very strong with the people in our immediate circle. And I mean, if I had a younger brother that was there that day as well, right? And I mean, I'm sure you'll be okay with
other parents dropped off their kids.
Exactly.
Thinking that it's
trustworthy, etc. But I mean, if I just look at the people in that immediate vicinity, like for me, it didn't have such a super negative impact. I didn't go on and party and drink and all of that.
But also, it never, luckily, it could have gone a different route.
But that's what I'm saying.
It was, luckily, I mean, we know someone was watching over us. We had our experience.
Yes.
And it was that.
Yes.
I mean, and we came out still okay out of that. It didn't.
But like, if I think about it honestly, and I'm gonna be very transparent with this, and I think as a disclaimer, I will speak to my brother about this, because if I look at his life and the direction that his life took, whereas I didn't become the person that was partying, that was out with friends, that was. I was his older brother in that instance. So I influenced him in that moment. It might have been the first time that he was in an environment where there was alcohol, where there was drinking, where there was, this type of environment. And if I have to face myself and think to myself, because of the path that he took in his life, and thankfully where he is today is a much better place. And I'm really thankful to God, for where he is today. But if I think about how different things could have been, because he did go down a path that I couldn't follow, that I wasn't a part of, that I didn't know where he was or what he was doing. And the reality is that one experience that I placed him in
could have
been the reason why he went down a different path.
Yes.
And a lot of times we as individuals, even though things don't affect us in a certain way, But what we put on other people might have the complete opposite effect on them. And there might have even been other people in that room, in that house, that might have gone, people that we don't know anymore, that we don't engage with anymore, that might have been there that night, that could have also gone down that path. And we created that opportunity. We put people in the situation first of all, and then we put them under pressure, because that is a pressure cooker. Because, you are now expected to be drinking. You're expected to be, getting by Macau with a girl. You expected, let's be honest, like that's what it was. So now everybody's on a high alert, like I want this, I want to do this, and I must show this. That's peer pressure to me. You know what I'm saying?
So we were culprits of people.
I would say in that moment, if we have to be honest, man, about the situation, then yes, we were. We created an environment where a lot of things could have happened that could have impacted certain people in certain ways. Peer pressure happens in two ways. It's the one that pressures somebody else, and it's the one that is being pressured in that situation. And whichever side you find yourself on in that situation, you have a responsibility and an accountability that maybe you will never have to live with.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the consequences that come with it. You know what I'm saying? And that is the problem with peer pressure and the impact of that.
Wow.
It becomes out of our hands, man. Like, we are part of the process, but then it takes on a life of its own.
So the crust of what I get of what you're trying to say is, utmostly, if you can try your best to try to stay away from a situation, because that can fester, what Graham was saying. Luckily we never, but you also teasing something that can erupt and can go haywire.
Yes, that word teasing is actually
100%
is the word, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So also, and it can happen to the best of us. I've heard people going south that was stand-up people. If you look at a farmer, all right, a farmer plants his seeds to get a great harvest at the end of the year or the season, all right? But can he do that with good soil? With bad soil? No, he's got to fertilize his soil, and he's got to make sure that everything around that seed is optimum for that to harvest. So the same way, if our goals and who we are is planted around bad soil, which is bad people, negative people, it's going to affect our growth. It's going to affect our harvest. There's not going to be rewards at the end of the day, because you're going to ask yourself, but I'm doing good. But at the same time, something is holding me back, and it's what's surrounding you. So you, unfortunately, you need to be able to stand up for yourself. Firstly, love yourself, okay? Remember, I think, 2 million sperms? I think it's in the millions.
Lots of.
You were the one that made it.
You
You were the one that made it. You were Penny Haynes. Okay, some young people won't know who's Penny Haynes. 1996 gold medalist in swimming. You were the Penny Haynes and you won the race. And God decided that you're going to be the one that's going to make something, of yourself. You were the one chosen. And you were the one that wakes up every morning. So there is a blessing for you. There's a journey for you. There's a purpose for you. Love yourself. You can't expect other people to love you if you don't love yourself. True. And people don't want to surround themselves with negative people. So if you're a negative person and everything is not hunky-dory in your life because you're just miserable, you just hate everything about yourself, you're going to attract the wrong people. Okay? I am a positive person and I don't want to be around negativity. I will try once or twice or thrice, maybe even 4 times to chat to a person like that. But if I see there's no, then that's going to affect my aura. You understand what I'm saying? So firstly, love yourself, okay? Because you are important. And then challenge yourself to surround yourself around situations that allows you to grow as a person. We can't start at 1 and remain on 1. We got to go from 1 to 2 to 3. So meaning you got to evolve as a person. You got to evolve as an individual. And remember, for you to become one day when you meet someone, you got to be one with yourself. Okay? So it all boils down about having self-esteem, thinking so. I mean, don't now become arrogant now. And to just think you're the best of everything. Humbleness is part of being an individual. You need to know when to humble yourself. But at the same time, believe in yourself. Know when a situation isn't right for you and take yourself out of that situation. Be bold enough to let people know how you feel. People might not know the pressure in you. Okay? Because true friends are hard to find. I remember in relationships, in friendships, you need to talk. You know, if a person doesn't know they're hurting you by saying stuff or doing stuff, then they'll continue doing what they're doing. But now you end up just staying away from this friend, but that could be a great friend. You understand what I'm saying? So not all friends that you think is doing bad to you is bad. You need to communicate. But if you feel after doing everything that you can to let that situation know that you're not feeling comfortable, take yourself out of it. Please do. Okay?
Yeah, and I think there's a part of all of us, you know, and I think going back to that textbook definition, if you want to call it that, you know, where it says that it's about engaging in things that you're not comfortable with. Like there's a part of all of us that knows the things that we're not comfortable with. And like you said now, Shane, it's important to be able to say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with this. And the only way you can really do that is to have good self-confidence within yourself. And a lot of times people are pretty much trying to create situations that's going to benefit themselves, you know. So even though they're pressuring you to do something or to be involved with something, it's very much about them. It's not about you, you know. They're trying to, like for us, we were trying to create a lekker party. It was about us, right? At the end of the day, that's what we were doing. But we didn't think that that situation might have negative impact. That wasn't the thought in our mind necessarily. You know what I'm saying? So remember, what people do, what they ask you to do, oftentimes has to do with what benefits them. So be bold, man. Be bold in how you address certain things that you're not okay with, that you're not comfortable with. Get information. Like if you're not sure about something, don't jump into it. Get information about it, you know, because certain things have massive negative impacts on your life, you know. And if I had to think about what, like if you look at coming through our youth, you know, the drugs that were very much in our space was things like tuk and, you know, those type of, you know, particularly tuk if you look at the communities that we come from. Now, if you just had to think about getting into that, it's a big decision. You know what I'm saying? It's not a small thing because it's something that can overtake your life.
Alter your life.
It can fully overtake your life. And I mean, there are people, I have family members that got into tuk that never got out of it. You know, the only way out for them was, you know, out of this life, literally. You know, they to the end of their life, this was a struggle for them. Yes. Because you know what? That's what it does. You thinking you're going to have a lekker time, you're going to have a party with your friends. But this thing that you allowing into your life is going to change your whole entire life. And you know what? It's not cool. It's not cool to do research on a drug before you do it. It's not, because I mean, who's going to do that? But you know what? These are things that impact your entire life. And like I said, it's not about you in that moment when someone's offering it to you. It's about them. They want to get something out of you. So do yourself a favor and choose yourself also in that moment and say, you know what, hold on, I need to think about this, or actually I'm not comfortable with this, or you know what, no, this is not for me. That's cool, I'm out. Be bold in how you approach that situation.
And I mean, it also boils down to you being able to ask yourself the question, the friends that I have, where am I going? If you can't answer you know, that simple question, then you're in the wrong place. Where am I going with them? I think in one of the episodes I mentioned, you stand around the barber shop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. So people don't know you, but they will assume you are like your friends that you hang out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So their actions will overpower who you are or how people perceive you as. Yes, you can be that friend that is the one that's trying to help them. But remember now, you gotta first help yourself, okay? Change starts with one person, okay? I stopped listening to, I don't listen to radio much, like to hear news and stuff, all the negatives that are happening. And it's not that I'm oblivious to what's happening around us. But if I'm gonna constantly surround myself with news that's negative, things that's negative, I'm just gonna have an overview of just negative things. So I try to listen or surround myself with positive things, because me changing myself or my mindset, we had the discussion on mindset, that rubs off on the next person, and that person will then rub off onto the next. And that's how, so we actually, what we talking about, I think we mentioned just peer pressure. We're talking about the negative peer pressure, but there can be the positive peer pressure. But you need to be that person that can be able to influence someone in a positive way. But it starts with you. So don't try and save the whole group of 5 people at one time. First, strengthen yourself, get to where you need to be. Remember, there's a creator that's watching over them as well, you know. And the creator, if asked, he will be there to assist them as well and help where you can, but it's not totally your job to do that. Take yourself out of the situation. At the end of the day, you the one that's important, you know. Challenge yourself. I think if you go out of high school at the same time, you get peer pressure in the workplace as well.
Yeah.
You surrounded maybe with people with different backgrounds,
Yes.
that do different things. Don't alter who you are, man. Stay in your lane. Be you. Don't let people take who you are away from you. Don't let them rob you, you know, and change who you are. Let it be positive changes. I know it's very tough for a lot of people to eliminate themselves out of situations or bad situations, because sometimes also you find yourself in a negative relationship. You can have peer pressure from your girlfriend, your boyfriend. You know, they live in a life that you're not comfortable with, but they draw you in. Try your best to get out of that, because I'm telling you now, that will swallow you alive, and it will keep you there, and it will rob you from the time that you have on this earth. Listen here, we don't have a lot of time, mate. Money can't buy time, and that's all we have. So try to rectify these things where you can, like I said, get that self-esteem going, because once that self-esteem is going, then you know who you are. And at the end of the day, set goals, because if you set goals, that will tell you, listen, if I'm in this space with these people, I'm not going to get to where I want to get, man. And I've got a timeline here. I need to get to where I want to get. But yeah, so
100%. And I agree with you fully on that. And I don't know if we close to wrapping with this one, but like, yeah, I just agree with what you're saying, like 100%. Like, you gotta work on yourself first. That's your starting point, you know, because from there, you will be able to go to any place. And peer pressure goes throughout your life. We started maybe in like primary school, and then high school, and in university, and then in the workplace. It's always gonna be there in one way or another in your life. But we're not saying be selfish people, you know, but we are saying be conscious people, conscious about the things you get involved with, conscious about the things that you do, conscious about the decisions that you make. Because at the end of the day, your decisions will influence your world and the world that you are involved with, the people that's in your life as well.
So Graham, I was just thinking, about back in the day, I grew up in Portland, and sport was a big thing for the kids in our area, and we used to play soccer, you know, as youngsters. And the kids I used to play with, when I go to training, my athletics training, as we got older, they'd be standing on corners. But the funny thing is, there was still respect. I greeted them, they greeted me. They didn't say anything bad. They respected the fact that I chose to do my athletics and concentrate on that, and I'm not going to stand on the corners with them. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, they chose a different path, but we still got to have respect, because when we have respect for them, that might be something that makes them think about themselves as well. That, hey, this man still sees me as something, as quality, man, as a person. So please, guys, you know, when you're up there, you made your great decisions and you're doing well for yourself, never look down upon other people, because it's not our right to do that. The Creator can change things for them, you know, like that, and their life could change around, and He could use you to do that. You know, you guys giving the respect to someone standing at a robot that you know, and just speak to them and at least you know, greet them and that could create a change in them, that, hey, someone still respects me. I'm not getting it at home or anywhere else. That's why I'm here at this street corner. But also coming back, you know, I think we close to wrapping it up here now. The crux of the story for everybody, before anything else, please love yourself. I mentioned it earlier. You guys are the ones that's gonna be the pilot to your helicopter, your aeroplane. Love yourself, and with that, and if you know yourself, you're gonna know which situations to put yourself into. Have the goals and project yourself in the right directions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't 100%. Know if you have anything else you want to add.
I think that's definitely, I agree with you. That's a good place for us to wrap up. And, you know, because like there's going to be peer pressure in your life. And like we were saying earlier on, that will go throughout your life. You know, even today as adults, we're still facing different kinds of peer pressure in our lives, you know, but the best place to start is to be able to love yourself, is to know who you are and know what you want, you know, and to give respect and to treat people with kindness and to honor everybody in your life that deserves that, you know, because just like you said now, if anybody comes across your path, maybe from your past, maybe their life didn't go the way they wanted it to go, maybe they're not successful in their lives, but you stopping, you having a conversation with them, you acknowledging their presence might be the difference between life and death even in their lives, you know. So yeah, give everybody honor and respect, and most importantly, love yourself, because the only way you can honor and respect and love others is if you love yourself. So
100%.
Yeah,
Totally agree. Be lekker, be awesome,
don't be
remain as awesome as you are.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah,
we'll catch them on the flip side.
Next episode, yeah. But yeah, that's a good place to wrap, guys. Thanks so much for listening in on us today again.
Yeah.
And I think again, like just as a end off, like if there's anything that you would like to hear from us about, that you would want us to talk about, or people that you think we should meet, that we should talk to, please feel free to share the details in the comment section or message us, and we'll be happy to do that. But as always, like and subscribe to the channel, you know, and follow us. And yeah, we're so excited.
Yeah, and we'll love it, like you said.
Yeah,
if we have some interaction,
100%.
So that we know that are we going in the right direction?
Yeah.
You know, is anything inspiring you? You know, just So just get involved, I guess.
Yeah.
So we can grow this. We can empower each other. We can all grow together. We can change the world.
100%.
But it needs to change with you. Love yourself. Cheers. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.